Herm and Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform from the middle of America in St. Louis, Missouri starts right now.
And you're home. Actually, Herm is here.
I am. I'm excited. I really am. And you know what? I was in Europe for 16 days, but even though I was over there, my phone worked great. I landed and, I've got AT&T cell service. And it says, welcome to Europe. You have international service. Carry on as normal. So I could pay attention to you, Kenny. And I watched you race. And I had a really good time. So I've got all my notes here. I think I'm up to speed on everything. And we will get to my Europe trip. But Kenny, I always like to start off with you. What'd you do over the weekend?
We just went to Red Hill Raceway, Sumner, Illinois, Friday night. And we didn't do any good. We were on fourth. Not a good fourth, but we were on fourth. And that was it. USAC sprint cars were there. They put on a real good show and had a good crowd. Track was good. Everything kind of got rained out Saturday. It was canceled ahead of time, or a lot of stuff was. It's every place we were looking at. So that's it. No, just one race last weekend. That was number 25 for the year so far.
I thought to myself, I don't claim to know everything about Kenny Schrader, but would it be fair for me to say that unlike any year, nothing's in your way this year? Your health is good, and I think you're going for a new record this year. What do you think you're going to try to get?
Well, I'm not trying to get anything. I'm trying to win races, and it hasn't worked out too good so far yet. We got a first, a second, a couple thirds. And yeah, so, that's it. Just trying to have fun, win some races.
Well, I've been paying attention, and you've been racing more than anybody. I think, God, it was about a month ago, Ricky Thornton, he was letting everybody know that he just left Volusia Speed Weeks, and he's like, race 28 on the year. I'm like, oh, boy, he's on a mission this year. I even know when I'm on a mission, and you and I are out of sync. This year, I'm not on a mission. But anyway, I like paying attention to you. And, okay, so me, this can go on forever, but I'm aware that I'm not going to go on forever here. Went to Europe for 16 days, which, towards the end, it's like, man, we've been gone a long time. But my highlights in my trip to Europe, number one was Greece. Going to the top of Acropolis. Acropolis is this big hill. It looks above Greece and the ocean. And it's where these 3,000-year-old monuments are. It's called Parthenon. And now don't laugh, but this, you ever heard of Greek mythology?
Oh, yeah.
Greek. It means it's all made up. And I even asked the expert, so everything they make, all the statues, they're like, nah, really these guys were all little fat, chubby guys. But the statue they chiseled out, that's the way they wanted to look. So like when Michelangelo chiseled out the statue of David, which is in Florence, we couldn't see, by the way, because there was a line around the block. But, that's what they wanted their people to look like. That was so disappointing. I'm like, oh, God, I thought this was all real. But Greek mythology in Acropolis, they at the top of that hill, they built a couple incredible monuments, and it was to their Greek god Athena. It was a lady. And the mythology goes, they were all, strategizing, and I want to be the one. Well, she plants a seed, and it becomes an olive tree. So she becomes the Greek god. So they build the top of Acropolis for Athena, which is a girl. Okay, so that's number one. And there's a lot in between, guys. But number two was Nürburgring. And I'm telling you what, boy, did I learn a lot. Kenny, what do you know about Nürburgring?
It's big. It's long. That's all I know.
Okay, so you're correct. It's
Not on our
13
schedule.
miles long.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I learned. I'm just going to go right to it. Sir Jackie Stewart nicknamed it Green Hill. No different than we nicknamed Darlington, the Lady in Black, too tough to tame, because we run the wall, at Darlington, right? So Nürburgring, back in the day, had no guardrails. So Sir Jackie Stewart nicknamed it Green Hell, because they would just fly off into the woods. And of course, you've seen the videos.
Well, that's the way every track was. I mean, every road course is like that.
So 13 miles long, big straightaways. And, then they have an area called the Lauda Links, Nicky Lauda. So Nicky comes around there, as we all know the way this story goes. He loses it, wrecks. No problem. Except the track is so long, you spend 90% of the time like trying to see where you're going, because you're always climbing a hill or going around a corner and you don't know what's around the corner. So when Nicky Lauda, when he wrecked, car comes over, center punches him, bursts into flames, and then, of course, Nicky Lauda burns. So anyway, that's the tough thing about Nürburgring. Formula One quit racing there because of Nicky Lauda's wreck. And nowadays is what we see, all these Formula One tracks got all this runoff room. So I decided to take my BMW streetcar and pull a Kenny Schrader. Take it easy. And they had lots of red flags. People were wrecking. And the last thing I want to say, the last time I seen anything like this was when Rusty, and I think you went to Trenton, New Jersey. The New Jersey Highway Patrol ran the USAC racetrack. Same thing at Nürburgring right now. The German police run the racetrack. So if you wreck, they red flag it. The German police run to the side of the wreck on the racetrack, and they do an insurance report. And at best, it's going to be 60-40, because like Dick Trickle said, you decided to come on the racetrack. And Kenny, it was wild. I couldn't really, go down the straightaway as fast as I wanted to, because halfway down the main straightaway, you got to slow down, and a gate comes down, and you put your pass up, and then the arm comes up, you run another link, another lap. So there's a lot in between, guys. What do you know about Nürburgring, Kenny?
I don't. Maybe Dietz knows more, but I just know it's long. And I was surprised that you could, drive your street cars around there. And like you say, the German police, we were in New Jersey, and the race cars had to be state inspected. And, Rusty got well, they did, the race cars.
Yeah.
The New Jersey State Police, I don't know if it's still like that. I bet it is. I don't know how many tracks are up there. But, Rusty got black flagged, if you remember, in that race, because he wasn't wearing gloves. And I'm not sure it was a USAC rule at the time, but it was a New Jersey state law.
I was explaining to my wife on the way home. She's wanting to know everything. And I said, here, Kim, I'm going to put it into perspective. Pretend the Missouri Highway Patrol comes down to Peevely, and the red flag comes out. The Highway Patrol come on the racetrack at Peevely. And that would be it. And they'd say, okay, Rusty Griffall and Kenny Schrader got together, and Schrader, it's 40% your fault because you decided to come on the racetrack.
Right.
And they literally file an insurance report.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everybody. Here we go. We will get to dirt racing. By the way, before we get to dirt racing later on, shout out to Bobby Pierce, who just got married. And the reason I bring it up is he is very good friends with our NASCAR, Tyler Reddick. There it is, Tyler Reddick at Bobby Pierce's wedding. And like, wow, that's a good relationship. Did you know that, Kenny?
I saw he was there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how tight what they were, but they were racing together. They were both kids racing and running good. So yeah, both from Illinois. So, or at least Tyler was living in Illinois then. So that's neat to see. And it was an off weekend, for Cup.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will get to dirt racing later. Not a lot happened, but Kenny will have a report for us. And congratulations to Bobby Pierce, who's been very fast over his whole career, but he finally got married. What kind of advice do you have for Bobby Pierce, Schrader? What kind of advice you got for him?
We don't need to go there. Would get edited out.
I wonder if she has insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they'll be good. I'm glad for him, happy for him.
Yeah. She's the real deal. I like her. Of course, she's like the new age type girls where they all do videos. She cleans the toter home every weekend. She does all these videos, makes a little side money for herself. The videos do pretty good, but she, it's like any of these. How much are they now, Kenny? How much are those toter homes? A new one?
Well, it just depends what you want to spend. A new SNS right at $900.
Jesus. So every Monday morning, Bobby Pierce's wife cleans that $1 million toter home, does some videos of it. All the crew members take their shoes off. Yeah, that's the new era of dirt track, Deets. Did you know that the crew members take their shoes off now when they go inside their transporters?
If the wives are the one cleaning it, I imagine they are taking their shoes off when they go inside. It's unbelievable. And, not to go back, but talking about the Nürburgring, you're right. I mean, people have no idea, and they need to go, and I don't personally, but they need to go on YouTube and just look at that original course, because it's unbelievable. And that they took that whole part off that they called a forest, because not just because it was 13 miles, but that place was just so dangerous. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And the fact that you got to do that and be a part of it, man, that's just amazing.
Well, my strategy was to give a little report, and then that be it. Okay, so I can't goat Schrader into giving Bobby Pierce any marriage tips, but that's a good thing. Okay, let's have fun, guys, and let's be honest. This is going to be most of the show right here, and I thought about it for a full 2 days. Rockingham. Now, Schrader's going to get mad, but I'm going to let him get mad. I don't care, because this is what's going to make the show. I'm sorry, but Rockingham was all about Cletus McFarland, whether you like it or not. We'll talk about the real race and the real winners. But what I want to get to, we're going to talk about the winners and everything. But what I want to get to is, what does Cletus McFarland have that, I asked John Force this one time. I said, Force, what do you have that all those other racers don't have? John Force looked at me and he stalled for a little bit. He said, bullshit. I got a lot of bullshit. And Force was the best at getting sponsorships. So let's run it down, Kenny. Here we go. Corey Heim is the winner in the trucks. Hell of a race. Who did he race against there, guys? Kaden Honeycutt.
Okay, stop.
That's what I was looking for. You bit for it. I love it.
No, it's not bit for it. And I got no problem. Yeah, I got a problem with Cletus being in the race, because the whole NASCAR approval process it's changed over the years. I understand why he's there. He's got a heck of a following. He brought a lot of attention. That's great. But the one thing that John Force has got that a lot of other people don't have Trophies.
Yeah.
A resume.
Stuff. Okay. Now listen, this is like picking on Dale Jr. and this is like picking on Taylor Swift. If you pick on Cletus, this mob's going to come after you. But you better grow a set of I'm talking to myself right now because we're doing a show. And to do a show, you got to give your opinion. So Cletus, how many NASCAR races has Cletus run? 10?
As far as the big 3 series go, I mean, I could tell you that without even looking up. He ran the truck race at Daytona, and he ran the O'Reilly race at Rockingham. If you're not counting ARCA starts.
Okay, so so he ran a truck race this year at Daytona. He ran the ARCA race. So he's run about 4 to 5 NASCAR races total, right?
That's 2.
Yeah, if you count the ARCA races.
Yeah, if you count the ARCA races. 2 of the big 3.
And so, okay, now think about this. This is my strategy here. Okay, he's already running in a series that's, and I'm a smart here. Do you know if you win a championship in any of these series, you're a NASCAR Hall of Famer?
No, you're not.
Did you know that?
No, you're not.
So, okay, let's mix and match that. Okay, I love this, Kenny. You're going right where I want you to go. Okay, so Corey Heim in the truck race, he's got 25 wins in 92 starts, and he's a champion. Now, we're talking about Cletus here. So is Corey Heim with 25 wins in 92 races, is he a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame now? Is he going to stand next to Richard Petty in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah.
Cletus, with 5 starts, is in a series that they say this series is so important that if you win a race, you're in the Hall of Fame. Now, I love Justin Allgaier more than anybody. That's not the point. I'm not even talking about Justin. So they're saying that, it's okay. It's okay. So that's the point. What does Cletus have?
A following on YouTube. Just a following on YouTube. That's what he's got.
He does. And listen, you hear students of the sport. I would consider you guys students of the sport too. You hear that in others, boxing and different things like that. People that not only do it, but actually have studied the sport, literally studied the sport. Sam Ard is not in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
What?
He is not in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
How is that?
I'm going to double check that, but I know for a long time he was a nominee, but he was not in the Hall of Fame. I'll double check that. He might have got in the last couple of years. But basically what I'm saying is that, when you look at guys like, and I hate this because NASCAR, and I asked about this, why do you count NASCAR Cup Series history pre-1972 when they shortened the schedule, but you don't count NASCAR late model sportsman races as part of the O'Reilly series? And that's what always got my goat for years and years when Mark Martin broke Jack Ingram's win record. He broke a win record that Jack Ingram had from 1982 until he quit racing. It didn't count anything that Jack Ingram did prior to 1982 when the Busch Grand National Series started. So look at a guy like Butch Lindley. Okay? When you look at his NASCAR numbers, they're not all that great. But whenever you look at what he did pre-1982 and include that, then you got a different story. So what I'm saying is you say is a O'Reilly Series champion a shoe-in for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I think if Justin Allgaier wins the championship this year, he probably is. But based off of what he's done right now, I think he would be close, and I think he would get votes. Now you talk about Cletus, it's just like what Kenny said. This is based just off of an internet following. He is an influencer. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but I saw a list of the top ranked NASCAR drivers based on internet searches. It's pretty sad. I'll just leave it at that. But it's pretty sad who the top 3 or 4 are.
Okay, let me zone in on this, Kenny. Okay, so the reason I brought this up, it was a stretch, but I was afraid nobody would understand it. Cletus is running a series that is a Hall of Fame series, supposedly, right? Because
he ran a race. He went to one race,
right? And that's how important they say the series is. If you can run good, and this is a very important race, is what they're saying. He qualified 35th. He finished 32nd. He was 6 laps down, spun out 4 times. And damn, I'll tell you what, they all felt like that was a hell of a run. All of America says that was a hell of a run. So this is where you get in trouble, Kenny. What do you think?
I don't. You know what? All of America can think whatever they want. It's real simple. He finished 32nd.
Yeah,
that's it. Hey, now when I'm not,
he got out of it.
Cletus is good for us. Cletus is good for us. I know that. I mean, he's fun to watch. I mean, his interviews and stuff. He's good for us. He's good for the sport. Brings attention to it. It's going to take him. Maybe he wins the next race. I'll bet against it, but maybe he wins the next race. I'm not anti-Cletus, not by no means. If someone figures out how to get there, they get a ride, they get there, more power to them. I'm a little disappointed, not a little disappointed, I'm really disappointed in the NASCAR approval process. And I mean, they had their hands tied behind him this time, though, because he's got such a huge following. They had to let him run, but by no means going the way we used to do it, but we don't do anything the way we used to do it. Did he have the credentials to be approved to go run that race?
Can I just real quick on the NASCAR Hall of Fame? So I'm looking through here. The first non-Cup driver to ever go into the NASCAR Hall of Fame was Richie Evans in 2012. So the inaugural class was 2010. So after Richie Evans, again, non-NASCAR Cup-oriented drivers, Jack Ingram went in 2014, or Cup-oriented crew chiefs and engine builders, that sort of thing. Jerry Cook in 2016. Ron Hornaday in 2018. Okay, that's what, 3 or 4. Red Farmer 2021, which I will give to those folks that they did base it off of his late model sportsman days pre-1982, because there's nothing after 1982. Mike Stefanik in 2021, Herschel McGriff in 2023, and no Sam Ard.
Okay, so I'm just, as Larry McReynolds said, we can beat this like a dead horse. The point is Cletus is in a race where they make Hall of Famers. So it's an important race is my whole point here. If we can make a Hall of Famer out of an O'Reilly Auto Parts driver, Cletus was in the highest form of motorsports there was. And the greatest thing, now where NASCAR comes out looking good on this, is it fell right into their lap. What's Cletus say when he gets out of the car? He says, and I got it, quote unquote, "It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life." Now NASCAR can say, see everyone, see, you can't get in these race cars and think you can do it. So it went according to plan. All's well that's end well. And I am excited to be going down to Bradenton, Florida this Friday for the Freedom Factory 500. And like Cletus says, I'm like you, Kenny, in ending, and we're going to end this thing. Cletus says, Richard Childress called me and said, hey, you want to drive my car for 2 years? And he says, yeah. And NASCAR says, yeah, you can race. He said, what was I supposed to do? Richard Childress said, drive my car. And NASCAR said, yeah, you can race.
It's good for the sport. I just don't quite understand it, but it's good for the sport. And the only thing that'd be better is to see him the next race run 25th, and then see him run 20th
at Talladega.
And here's the thing, my last part of it, I'm totally with Kenny. I think Cletus did. Who wouldn't go race? I don't understand the approval process whenever you got a late model stock guy that's won 30 races, but can't get approved to run a certain, a rally race or truck race based on the size of the racetrack. And I kind of compare this. If you remember a few years ago, Will Ferrell played some
baseball at all the stadiums. Yeah, I remember that.
But they were spring training games. They were not real games. Tom Selleck did the same thing. He played in a spring training game, not a real game. This was a real race Saturday.
Will Ferrell, Kim and I, for good times, Kim and I were getting ready to race Phoenix, and we got in a couple days early. So we go over to Goodyear, and that's San Francisco Giants, AAA team. And Will Ferrell flew in a helicopter, landed on the field, and he took center field, and the place was packed. So you're saying this is a little like that?
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and for the latest Herm and Schrader gear, you need to go to shop.dirtymomedia.com. We've got plenty of options for everybody, and we're adding new stuff all the time. So go to shop.dirtymomedia.com.
Okay, so we're going to quit talking about the racing end. I really liked something that I want to talk about Cletus, but we're done about the racing part. Jeff Gluck has a good show on Dirty Mo Media, and Jeff Gluck is interviewing Cletus, and Gluck says, I am going to put words in Jeff Gluck's mouth. Basically, Cletus, I'm Jeff Gluck. I'm known in racing. Why don't I have any more followers than I have? So I can sell my news. I'm not a race car driver. I need followers. Cletus basically gives us a look in why he's so famous. Cletus uses the funnel effect. He goes, my funnel. Like, let's say you want to put gas in a race car. You need a really big funnel to put in a lot of gas. And he says, Jeff, I have a very big funnel. Basically, I do everything. I drag race. I race cars in circles. We build race cars. As to where, Jeff, all you do is report on racing. That's all you do. So, Kenny, maybe that's it. When Cletus, it's like, what does Cletus have? He has the whole damn America. He has everybody. And I think NASCAR sees that. Anybody got any advice on that or thoughts? How big his following is? Because he does everything.
I'm not a social media expert like you. I found out who Cletus.
I make a lot of money doing it.
I found out who Cletus McFarland was when he showed up at a race. Didn't know who in the hell he was before then.
Hey, and let me bring up one other thing in Cletus's defense. Marty Robbins.
Yes, good one.
Now, I don't know what the approval process was for him, and I know that he raced at Nashville at the fairgrounds. I don't know what the approval process was beyond that. And for folks that don't know, he was a country music singer back in the 60s. El Paso
City.
Oh, yeah.
By the Rio Grande.
Great singer. But he ran cup races, and he was not very competitive. Didn't really cause any issues or anything like that. I want to tell you one other thing real quick about Marty Robbins. So I was standing in the media center at Talladega, and this is such a great old NASCAR story. And there's an old rider there that had been around for a while. I can't remember who it was, but he said he remembered back in the day in the 70s, going through the infield at Talladega, and Marty Robbins was sitting in the trunk of a car with his guitar, and Bobby Allison was there, and the fans were there, and they were just hanging out. And I was like, God, could you imagine seeing Marty Robbins and Bobby Allison and Marty Robbins just sitting there singing the day before the race at Talladega? But again, so, I mean, we talk about approval processes, and maybe this is a new thing or whatever, but like I said, Marty Robbins to me would be on par with who Cletus is now as far as popularity, because NASCAR and country music in the 60s and 70s were like this. So he obviously had a following that he brought whenever he came to the races that had absolutely nothing to do with his driving prowess.
So, Kenny, I'm always figuring out how to serve things up to you because, it is the Herm and Schrader show. And the reason we want Dietz to be on is because he makes me think. Thank you, Dietz. So this makes me think about this. NASCAR live streamed on the NASCAR network the inside of Cletus's car. Now, they could have picked anybody, but how smart is NASCAR? They put a camera inside Cletus's car and live streamed it on NASCAR.com.
Hey, I'm a Cletus fan. I've never met Cletus. I'm a fan. He's good for a sport. He brings excitement. That's great. It's just to think about putting him out there and trying to be competitive now doesn't go together. He's got a little bit to figure out. Not saying he won't figure it out. But yeah, NASCAR's jumped on the bandwagon. Why would you not? He brings a lot to the sport. And I watched some of Rockingham, and here we are, Easter weekend. Track looked great. The facility looked great. Looked good to see people in the grandstands. The infield was full. A lot of competitor stuff in the infield, but they also had big hospitality. I think it was Black's Tires had a big hospitality. It was a great weekend, and Cletus was definitely part of it.
I did notice that. That was wild. The infield at Rockingham looked good, kind of like the old days at Darlington. That was good to see. Okay, so in ending, everybody, I wrote down what I want to say. Besides the Earnhardts, I've never witnessed a NASCAR driver captivate the people like Cletus McFarland has. And this is just what NASCAR needed. And, we've got Tyler Reddick, who won 4 in a row. We got Michael Jordan, who has grabbed the attention of the world because he's got a lot of worldly friends. We got Cletus, who's captivated everybody. This is the best that NASCAR's looked in a long time with media attention.
We got Darius.
Darius Rucker. Hey, bring me up to speed on that, Kenny. Whose team did he buy into?
He bought into Legacy, I believe, right? Wasn't it, Dietz? Bought in Legacy. And I didn't
it was Legacy.
Yeah. I always I'm not a music guy at all, but I like that kind of music. So I just all of a sudden, Darius Rucker. Now remember, I'm not a music guy at all. And I said, I like this guy. Man, he came out of nowhere. And then I found out that, not that I know who Hootie and the Blowfish are, but I'd heard of them. and I found out, he was that guy, I thought all of a sudden this guy just shows up. But no, he got involved with Legacy. So, it's great.
And I'm going to de-bull this. I surely hope that he brought money. So many of these deals end up where they bring the name and then they end up leaving. Like, I don't know what happened at Pitbull and Trackhouse. All I know is that it was a shot in the arm for Trackhouse when Pitbull was there. I'm like you, though, Kenny. I read between the lines. I mean, he said he invested in it. So I'm hoping Darius Rucker did invest money to Jimmy Johnson, and I'm cheering them on. So you're right. So let's go through it again. We got Michael Jordan because they won 5 races, 4 with Tyler, 1 with Denny, and just had a really big media deal with Michael Jordan, with Gayle King, with CBS News. It looked good. We got Cletus, and now you're saying we've got Darius Rucker. I mean, Kenny, I don't remember a time where NASCAR had this much media. Dietz, what do you think? I mean, is this the most media NASCAR's got in years?
Well, in years, I mean, when you think of the early 2000s, I always said that there was a morbid curiosity that came into NASCAR. Unfortunately, after Dale Sr. passed away, from folks that didn't know the sport, but Dale Jr. went mainstream really quickly, and that was the most I ever saw. I thought Danica brought a lot of attention to the sport, kind of like Cletus has for various reasons. But yeah, in recent years, I think this is the most that we've seen. And, on Darius Rucker, being a South Carolinian myself, based on everything I know about him, he's not going to get involved in something if it's not something that he believes in. He does a golf tournament in Myrtle Beach the day after the Masters because he's a legitimate golf fan, and I don't think that this is a figurehead sort of thing. I would think that he's really invested in it, and I'm excited to see what he and Jimmy Johnson can do together.
Well, let me add one.
Yeah.
Let me add one other thing, Kenny. All the stuff you named that we got right now, I mean, that's great. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
The best thing we got, the biggest thing we got, is we've had good racing. And with that said, does Jeff Gluck do a poll? Like, did he do a poll in this weekend at Rockingham show?
Well, let me look right here. I'm sure he didn't, but let me look. I got my phone right here. Okay, Jeff Gluck. His last post, people copying him. This quiet track, Kenny. I know you're not on social media that much, but Jeff Gluck made something else famous. When all racing is over, he would, like 2 hours after the event, when all the truck and trailers are gone, the media room is emptied out, he would take a picture of the front straightaway and he would just put quiet track. In other words, good night, everybody. So Langley Speedway, their opening night, sends quiet track. Bob Pockras, quiet track, Rockingham. So no, I'm just telling you what I see in Gluck's timeline. I'm cheering Gluck on. He wants to be big time, and I see it. And he's hooked in with the right people there at Dirty Mo Media. Okay, here we go, guys. Truck race. We are switching subjects, everybody. Take a drink of whatever you're drinking.
Yeah, what was Tanner Gray thinking at the end of that race? Those were his teammates. And I'm like, he's running harder right now, and he's about to go a lap down with 3 laps to go, and his teammates are sitting there battling for the win. I'm like, that seemed a little odd to me.
Okay, let's set the picture up for Kenny Schrader.
I did not see it.
Truck race was awesome. Well, hold on. Let me say this, and then Dietz, you go back. I'm going to set it up. Corey Heim wins his 25th truck race. And at the end of the race, Kaden Honeycutt's going to pass him. Actually, he passed him. Kaden Honeycutt comes up on his team truck. Okay, now take it from there and tell Schrader this.
Well, and don't forget so there's a few things going on here. The truck and team that Kaden Honeycutt is driving for is the team that Corey Heim has driven for the last couple of years. The 15 truck is Tanner Gray, who's part of that same ownership group with Dave Gillen and those guys. And the truck that Corey Heim is driving is part of that team too. So this is 3 team trucks. The truck Corey Heim's driving this year is one that I think they're running the full season, but they're rotating drivers in and out, and Corey Heim's one of them. So Corey Heim's running around the bottom of the racetrack, and Kaden Honeycutt is coming up on the outside and has caught him. And, they're sitting there racing the last 3 or 4 laps. And just like Kenny says, Kaden Honeycutt's got a good shot to be able to get up on the outside of him to where Corey can't come up, and then he's gonna clear him and take the lead.
He had already passed him. He had passed him.
And Tanner Gray's sitting right in the middle of the racetrack.
Could have went way up the track. Could have went way up the track.
Could have went way up the racetrack. Could have got off the gas and dropped down or whatever. And I just hated to see it end that way because Corey Heim doesn't need any help. Kaden Honeycutt doesn't need any help. Kaden Honeycutt's sitting there trying to prove himself and get his first win in a truck that Corey Heim was dominant in the last 2 years. So I don't know. When drivers are getting let, I mean, they've got their reasons for things that they do, whether they get out of the way or don't, and maybe there's more to it or something like that. And I've heard on short track promoters and race directors, I'm like, why didn't you tell that lap car to get out of the way? They're racing. Yeah, they're racing for the lead here with 5 laps to go. And I've had multiple short track promoters tell me that lap vehicle is entitled to that racetrack just as much as those other guys are. And I don't know if he was on the tail end of the lead lap or what, but and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If a caution flies with 4 laps to go, that means he stays on the lead lap. He comes around. The leaders maybe stay out, and the trucks at the back half of the field come in and take tires, and maybe he could have made a run there at the end. And maybe that's what he was thinking. But I hate when lap vehicles end up playing a part in the outcome of a race.
Kenny, should his teammate got out of the way, come and do the checker?
I mean, I know when I drove at Rick's, I would be certainly aware of what was going on, and I would make it right. I know that when we were team cars at Petrie's, if you were coming up in that situation, I was not going to be in your way at the end of the race. And I was pretty sure you wouldn't have been in mine. So, that's just something you need to think about long term and how you're perceived as a teammate.
But just understand, he is a teammate to both of those trucks, all 3 of them on the same team. If you're a teammate, if you're a Chevy and 2 Chevys and a Chevy and a Ford are racing for the lead, I kind of understand if you're going to make it harder for that Ford to get around than a Chevy. I'm just saying, if you got 3 vehicles on the same team, it would make sense to me that you would get out of the way for both of them.
I think it's age. I think when we're young, we just, we're not. I mean, listen, Jeff Gordon was 20 going on 40. He's always been that way. Jeff Gordon's been way above his years. But some kids, when they're 20, they're 20. And I think that's what happened right there. But, okay. I'm going to give everybody... Kenny, here's what we...
What did Dodges do this week?
That's up to Dietz. Dietz, look at the rundown and find colleague for us. Oh, I know. Yes, by the way, everybody, and Kenny, I'm going to say this and then you comment on it. Congratulations to Corey LaJoie, because he fills in, he's got the ride now that Daniel Dye got kicked out of. So Daniel Dye gets in trouble. He gets basically, kicked out of the sport for a little bit. He gets back in, but colleague says, hey, thanks, Daniel, but Corey LaJoy is going to drive your truck now. And Corey did get a top 10. But go ahead, Dietz. What do you got there about those Ram trucks?
Yeah, Corey finished 7th, which is huge. Just to give you an example, Ty Majeski was 8th. Justin Haley finished 12th. And then the rest, weren't in the top 20.
Hey, that truck series is tough, guys. I really believe that. I see, like you kind of judge who's running by names. That Ty Majeski's no joke. He's a hell of a racer.
Can I ask you guys a question about Rockingham? To me, this race weekend was just as important as last year, if not more important, to see how the fans reacted and if they showed up or not this year like they did last year. They did. Are we in a place now where we could maybe see SMI or NASCAR or whoever lease that racetrack the way that Texas Speedway Motorsports has done with COTA? Because I don't think that Rockingham will ever get a date if it's not NASCAR or Speedway Motorsports that either own it or lease it. But are we any closer, you think, to Rockingham maybe getting a cup race?
Kenny would know way more about that.
Well, you combing your hair or what are you doing?
I know that your partner's involved in this, so I'm wanting to see what you.
No, I'm going to see if you're combing. I was trying to figure out if you were combing your hair or what were you doing. No,
it's a nervous reaction.
Yeah, there could be a lot of behind the scenes talks, conversations going on there. This was new ownership at Rockingham this week, not just this week, but for this event, and it was the IHRA group. Our buddy Bob Sargent, Track Enterprises, ran and promoted the race. Obviously, if NASCAR looked at doing something bigger at that facility down the road, they would make 100% sure that whatever group they had doing it would be capable of running the race, So who knows? It was neat to see the people come out again. Now, I know pre-sales weren't there, but they don't need to be there because you're going to be able to get a ticket. So if we didn't have Chamber of Commerce weather, what kind of weekend we have. So there's a lot going on there, but it sure proved again that it needs to be talked about for the future of that place.
Okay, here we go, guys. It's safe to say Schrader said it. Rockingham looked good. More to come. All right, look what I found here, guys. I'm just going to show you. I like this. Speed TV is back now. So my buddy, everybody at Fox TV. So for everybody that's on Dirty Mo Media podcast right now, I just showed a picture. Jacob Ullman, who is in charge of talent at Fox TV, Eric Shanks, they brought Speed TV back. And they've got this, they got Kevin Harvick and another guest that's kind of famous.
It's Will Buxton, the play-by-play guy for IndyCar.
Okay, so they're bringing Speed back, Kenny. A show with Harvick and Buxton. And anyway, I like this, what they do here. I took a picture of it. And this was your week's winners, everybody. We're going to go down the list. Go ahead.
I like listening to Kevin Harvick. I think he comes across really good and understands all sides of our business.
Yeah, I agree. And those two, they had to do a dry run. in TV, they don't put people on TV and say, let's see if this works. What they do is, Kenny, they put you together and see if it works. So Harvick and Buxton, they look good. One's a, different speaking man, from Europe, and of course Harvick. But anyway, they put this out. Corey Heim wins the truck race, everybody. Kenny, the ARCA race, Tristan McKee, I've never heard of him. Am I bad? Do you know Tristan McKee?
No, not right offhand. That was a Spire car, I believe. Wasn't that a Spire car, I think?
Okay.
I was bad this weekend. I did not see all the races. I saw a little bit of the ARCA race, which Cletus finished 4th.
Did do good.
Yeah. In a good car.
Okay.
Wait a minute. He was in a good car, and he finished 4th. He was in a good car that afternoon and finished 32nd. So what does that tell us about the level of competition between the two?
So let me be the devil's advocate. Now listen, we all love ARCA. We all love ARCA. Is the gap too big from ARCA, or does it just happen every once in a while like that?
No, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of ARCA. I'm a fan of the trucks. Fan of O'Reilly's. It's just they're different. They're different series, and they have, they're each one is a step up, a step more competitive. ARCA, truck, O'Reilly's, Cup. Grooming yourself to, if you're trying to get the Cup, grooming yourself for Cup. But it's like playing junior high football, high school football, college ball, and pro ball. And each one's a big step. But we saw that step with Cletus running 4th Saturday morning there, and then running 32nd in the afternoon race.
I think Cletus is going to get through the end of this year, and he's going to go, you know what? I think next year I'm going to run all ARCA.
Yeah.
Get him a win, get him a nice trophy.
Or Cup. Who knows?
Yeah. So, all right, there we get to the very end of the show, everybody, and we've all realized that Cletus would look good to run an ARCA and get some wins. Okay, then last but not least, this was a felt-to-heart win. I call him Willie. William Solich, wonderful family. He wins, hell of a battle. Corey Day looks like he's going to run away with this thing. But Willie gets his first win in the number 18 Joe Gibbs car. What do you know about him, Kenny?
I don't really. I don't know much about him. I know that he was in a Gibbs car, looked good. We talk about track position and experience. Corey Day looked like the guy for 2 segments. First two segments is basically, first 2 segments, basically half the race. And then he didn't come out in the front. It's not like he was buried, but he was 6th or 7th, something like that on a restart. And then, he lost that advantage that he had earlier. But what he did that first half, and in that HenryCars.com car, it shows you he's going to be around. He's going to be around and up front a lot.
Hey, I'm going to go somewhere that I don't have on my list here. I was at Nürburgring, and when I was done there, I went over to this wonderful museum. And the guy that ran the museum knew and loved NASCAR. And he said to me something that maybe you're making me think about this. As Corey Day, is obviously going to stay at Hendrick. Where are we with Alex Bowman, everybody? It seems to me like, is Hendrick, I know you love Rick, and I love Rick too, Rick Hendrick. But does Alex Bowman come back? Or does another driver have to go in there. We know that Justin Allgaier's in the car. That's something to pay attention to. It's not that I have an opinion on it. I'm just saying that's probably the next thing. Does Alec get rid of this nagging injury? And does he come back, or does somebody fill that seat in, Corey Day. Yeah.
Hey, there's been a lot of guys that had to quit racing because of vertigo. And I thought, a few years ago, that Alex Bowman was maybe on a short leash and he won Chicago. And I think that quieted some of that down a little bit. But when you look at HendrickCars.com on the side of Rajah Caruth and on the side of Corey Day's car, there's no way Corey Day's ready, but he's getting there. Yeah, you can see the improvement. Rajah Caruth is the one, to me, that would create a lot of attention, and if he could go out and win an O'Reilly race this year, it would shock me if he's not in that 48 car next year. And I don't know anything, but that's just watching from the outside.
Well, there'll be a lot of people that want to put their name on a potential list for the 48. If the seat was to open up, there'd be a lot of people that would want to be on that list.
Alex Bowman has been really roughed up. 3 years ago, he flips the sprint car. He gets lucky, because you look at Swindell, he didn't get away with it. The sprint cars flip, they come down on their four tires. Alex Bowman's been really roughed up, because that was one injury. He was out for a little bit, and now this one he's out. So in the last 3 or 4 years, Alex Bowman's been out 2 times because of injury. So we'll see. Okay. And to top it off, in that little picture there, which I thought that picture was kind of cool. Kenny, I'm bringing this up. This is a shout out to St. Louis, Missouri. We got some new names in motocross. Ken Roszen, Roczen. He wins Supercross in St. Louis, and that was last.
Yeah, I don't think that's a new name
on this. Okay, I didn't know him.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ken Roszen. Yeah, hell of a racer. All right. Man, I saw a lot of good jokes. I saw a lot of good jokes, and I should have brought them up.
Well, I got some bad ones if you want those.
We want to be consistent.
All right, here we go. That's right. That's right. Okay. What do you call a pile of cats? A meowton. A meowton.
That is bad. Okay. That's stretch. Okay. That's a stretch.
Okay. Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. Get it? Okay. And then this is the last. Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired.
Only had 2 tires. Man, them are horrible. God. I should have wrote down some of mine.
Hey, but I'll tell you, and I don't know if you got to see the show the last 2 weeks, Rick Mass loves them. For all the wrong reasons, but he does love them.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Rick, I see that he went to a concert. He's good on social media. His family is very good on social media. And he went to a concert. Let me see here. Rick Mast. Love following Rick. Oh, here it is right here. Rick Mast goes to, Luke Bryan. He says, good news is Luke is a popular dude. Bad news is the hot dog lines are a mile long. Thank you, Rick Mast.
Deets, Kenny took my phone a couple years ago, and he got me on, what was it?
X.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't
Twitter,
them.
which is X, yeah.
Got me on Twitter. He downloaded the app and he said, "Oh, you got to follow this guy. Got to follow this guy. Got to follow this guy." He put it half a dozen, 10 people on there. I had it for like 24 hours and I took it off my phone. I did not give a heck every time somebody had something to say. So I got, my phone beeped because somebody has something to say. So I got that off my phone instantly. So yeah. I know social media is big, but I think if you do the population of the country, not just the people you know or follow, it's not that big. Percentage-wise of the country, not just your buddies.
And a lot of people, like my oldest daughter, Brooke, she just scrolls. She just looks at everything. Her daddy has a big mouth. Isn't that something? My wife, I mean, we're totally opposite. My wife wouldn't say nothing. She's so quiet. And my oldest daughter, Brooke, is the same way. They're super quiet. And me, I am so loud that I hurt my own ears.
Yep.
Opposite. I think I can't remember what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I think it was about whether a race was good or somebody had spun somebody out or something like that. And you're exactly right, Schrader. The thing you got to remember, especially when you're on X, is you sit there and you see something and it makes you think based off the reaction that 80% of the world is opposite of the way you're thinking. But in reality, it's a very, very vocal minority, a small minority with a big mouth or big fingers.
Wow, we just set a record, boys. We got to stop. I mean, we can do anything we want, but here we are, an hour and 6. So, Kenny, I'll go first this time. This Friday, everybody, I'll be in Bradenton, Florida at Cletus McFarland's Crown Vic race for the Freedom Factory 500. There'll be about 21 of us. Cletus did call me, asked me to do it. I'm just saying that because Brother Mike says, "How you get me in on that deal?" I'm like, "Brother, he just called me." So thank you to Cletus for inviting me. Then we're going to spend the night Friday night, and my buddy John Scatoni's got that airplane. We're going to fly up to Bristol on Saturday, and I'm going to do Trackside Live at Bristol. Then after that, I start racing April 17th at Brownstown, Illinois, and April 18th at Peevely. So that's kind of my next 2 weeks. Kenny, what about you?
I'm going Thursday and Friday down to Charlotte. Going to see the kids, and we have an IROC event at 10 Tenths track there, right next to the Speedway. Then hustle back for the World Outlaw Show Saturday night at I-55. Federated's got a bunch of people going to be there, so we'll bond with them, probably run the modified, and then do a play day Sunday at I-55 for the Federated folks. Then I'm actually home for a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Dietz, tell me about you.
I got double day at Florence Motor Speedway Saturday afternoon. They're racing for double points. Saturday night, I'll leave Florence, drive to Lakeview, South Carolina, the dirt track for their 45th anniversary race. They're paying $3,000 to win for the late models. And I am glad that you brought that deal up about the Heritage Invitational, Kenny. I think that is just going to be great. The old IROC cars, 10 Tenths is this new road course they built across the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I think Jeff Gordon's going to be there, Bill Elliott, a bunch of great drivers are going to be there driving those vintage cars and vintage IROC cars. And I think that's just going to be a great event. And I'm glad you brought that up.
And thanks for serving that up, everybody, because I want Kenny Schrader in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah,
when Ray Evernham asked Kenny Schrader to be in this invitational race, Kenny, you are with the greatest race car drivers in the world, and Kenny Schrader is one Truck,
Wait a minute.
O'Reilly, and Cup.
We
And
got-
with that, I'm not going to let him talk.
We got all them guys, and I'm the cast of others. I got no problem with
Tell
it.
you what, buddy, you're in some good company right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, hey, listen, you are my hero, but I know you see what I see. Them boys are taking that deal serious. Oh, Bill Elliott and Jeff Gordon, they have been camped out there. They know every mark on that damn racetrack. Have you done any sim practice, Kenny?
They sent me a video that I have not looked at yet. I'm running my own car. There'll be other people there that, have old IROC cars, and that they'll be, running their cars, which have all been updated, with better shocks, better brakes, better transmissions and stuff. I'm going to go there, figure out where turns are, drive my own car in a safe and courteous manner, because I want to sell
Like
my
I did at
old
Nürburgring.
IROC car. But I'm excited to be there.
You're going to sell the IROC car. That's a pretty big deal. When's it going to go up for sale?
I think Ray's talked to a couple guys. It's for sale.
Oh, he's got it. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, everybody. As we say at the end of everyone, remember you can find Herm and Schrader on Dirty Mo Media Podcast. And if you want to see Kenny Schrader and Dietz's pretty faces, go over to the Kenny Wallace YouTube show. Until the next Herm and Schrader show, we'll see y'all next time, everybody.